The university application process is pretty convoluted and has a lot of factors to it. And with universities receiving thousands of applications every year, the admissions officers have very little time for each application. Now here is where the resume comes in. Now a well-crafted resume can wow an application officer immediately and could greatly increase your chances at that university. In this video, I'm going to be talking to you about the elements of a good resume and the process of creating a great resume for university applications. Let's get into it right now. Your resume should give undergraduate admissions committees a brief rundown of all of the activities you did through school. It should contain your grades, your past jobs, your awards, leadership activity, presentation skills, any honors. It could also have creative capabilities like music, art, writing, interpersonal skills. Now, it is a very important document in your life in general, as once you create a good resume for university, it can be modified while applying for internships and other jobs as well. Now, it plays a key role in your university application process, and it gives a complete overview of your application to the admission officer who's reading it. Now let's talk about the elements and the process of creating a good resume. Now a good resume must be divided into multiple sections. Now what you put under each section is up to you, but a few things must remain constant. Firstly, the header. Now it contains all of your personal information. Your name, your address, your phone number, maybe your email address. If you have a personal website or a web profile or an online profile, you could mention that here as well. Now, I will be making a video on creating an online profile for university applications, so stay tuned for that as well and subscribe to the channel. Next, the next section we talk about one of the most important parts of the application, the academics and the standardized test scores. Now, under this section, it could include your high school, your class rank, your academic scores or GPA, your expected graduation date, and all other information related to your schooling. Now, you could also have something like a specific achievement which is in the academic side of things, like the dean's list or whether you graduated with honors. All of these come under your academic side of things. You could also talk about your standardized test scores under this section, where you put down your scores and also mention the date on which you took the test. That will give them a clear idea of when you took the test and how much you scored at that time. Now the next section is your activities, honors and awards. Now you could split this into 2 or 3 sections if you have a lot of elements under it, but all you need to do is mention your most important awards or honors under the section. Now these could be ones which you received through high school, it could be outside high school as well, it could be in a community setting. Now even under community service, if you got a specific award which is of high importance to you, you could mention this in this section as well. Now the next section is your community service, your volunteer service, your work experience and any internships. Now if there are a lot of elements under this section, then you could split it into 2 sections as well. But mainly mention the organizations you worked at or volunteered at, and also write the amount of time you worked there. It could be weeks, it could be the number of hours, it could even be maybe 2 years as well. Now also, this is very important to write short notes about your work experience at that organization. Explain your role and explain some specific thing which you did to help that organization. Now the next section would be title skills. Now good examples of skills that you could mention under this section are photography and language skills. And you could also talk about your typing speed, or if you speed read, you could mention that as well. Now you could also add additional sections that you think would be interesting, like your research or specific work experience or your involvement in organizations. Now all of these things, if you think that they'll be meaningful to your resume, then you could add them in as well. Now we will be talking to you about a few things to keep in mind while writing your resume. Now let's talk about a few things to keep in mind while writing a resume. Now firstly, it needs to be concise. The resume is a document where the application officer looks at it and with one glance gets a basic overview of your complete application. So the most important trait of a resume is to be direct and concise. Now secondly, you need to be specific while talking about your work at an organization. Mention in short notes what you did, what exactly you helped them with, and how successful you were at doing that. This gives great credibility to your resume. Now thirdly, mention experiences that make you unique when compared to others. Now you could talk about starting a specialized initiative, working at a maker space. Now these are all unique things which many people would not be putting on their resume. Also, one more interesting thing is to try to make your resume fit on a single page. And if it goes to 2 pages, try to make it fill up a substantial portion of the second page as well. Now, don't do this by increasing the font size or playing with the margins, but let it have substantial information in it as well. Now, also, make sure to make it simple. Don't let it be cluttered with color or drawings or images. Unless it's absolutely necessary, let it be only text. Now, the final thing to do would be to proofread your resume. Now, also get someone who you know well to look through it to make sure there aren't any simple mistakes. Now, a very interesting trick to use while proofreading your resume is to leave it for a day before coming back to look at it again. This will help you catch any errors that you missed before and help you make it as clear and as direct as possible. Now, remember, you only have one first impression, so you should make it count. So in conclusion, your resume for a college application should be a broad overview of your life. Ideally, not more than 1 or 2 pages long. So make it memorable, but at the same time, it should also be easy to scan and understand. So put your best foot forward. Now if you found this video informative, please like it and share it with all your friends. And for any questions on the complete university application process and on standardized tests, comment down below as well. I would also greatly appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel. I will see you in my next video.